Coming up, should you create a Wordle clone? Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content related to helping you grow your app downloads and your revenues. And today, I want to answer a question that I've been actually getting a lot lately. Should I create a Wordle clone? Wordle, the hit sensation created by Josh Wardle with an A. And he's a Brooklyn-based, born in the UK, but Brooklyn-based software developer. And he created this sensation that now, subsequently, as of this recording, he ended up selling to the New York Times for reportedly over $1 million. So kudos to you, Josh. Congrats, brother. But because of your sensation, your hit sensation, there's been a lot of things happening in the App Store. So here's Josh's version. It's only on the web. You can only play it on the web. I have a tab that I never close, Josh, on Safari that is specifically for Wordle. But here's the actual sensation right here. But if we look into the app stores on App Annie and look at the top charts, you can see Wordle, which was created by Steven 5 years ago. Josh created it in January, I believe, but really recently, January 2022. But Steven created it back 5 years ago, and his app is number 2 overall. So because of the success of Josh's Wordle, Steven's Wordle, who he just consequently named it Wordle, he was able to ride that wave. Okay. So let's take a quick look at the overall games. I just want to see what is happening here. So Wordle right here, Wordas, which is again like Josh's game Wordle. And then here. So about 3, I believe, 3 of the top 15 games, 33%, are about Wordle, right? Josh's sensation. Okay, now let's go into word games and Word, just to show you how crazy this is going. Okay, now we got Wordle. Well, top 3, all right? Word games are all Wordle base. And then word letter, again, Wordle base. And 11 right here, I think it is too, but it's really taken off, all right? So should you create a clone? Here's what I've discovered. I don't know how to answer that question, but I'm going to show you exactly what I discovered. So I'm doing all the market research for you, okay? I wanted to look at the top 8 apps, games that show up for Wordle, because a lot of app developers, there's a few now starting to advertise, but a bunch of them are just riding that wave, Wordle, okay? So let's take a look at the first app, Wordle. Again, this was launched in 2016, 5 years ago. Now, the premise of the game actually is sort of like this. You get 5 letters or 4 letters you start off with, and you have to try to make a word out of it. It could be any word, doesn't have to be the exact word, but here it could be like meats, right? And then you move on to the next word. And you just try to get as many words you can within time limit. So really addicting game. But that's how Steven originally launched the game as. He's recently, as a couple of days ago, added the Wordle that Josh's version. So the 6 guesses, 5-letter word type of thing, right? So he recently added this new version that Josh made popular, but Steven got lucky because he named the game Wordle and sort of rode that train. He ranks number 1 for Wordle. So I actually, when I first heard of Wordle, I went to the App Store like most people did. I searched for Wordle, and that's the game I started playing. I was like, this is pretty addicting, right? But I didn't know Josh's version yet. So Josh, kudos. You started everything here. It looks like Steven started to advertise, and he got 3 million downloads in December and $20,000 in revenue. So he's got a few in-app purchases, remove ads, unlock skips, unlock words, and things like that. So Steven already had all this in-app purchases, and because of the success of Wordle, he was able to take off his original Wordle as well. All right, here's the number 2 app, Wordas, 800,000 downloads, according to Sensor Tower, and was launched in January of 2022, right? So these numbers are weird because this is saying 2021, but it was launched in 2022. So I'm going to assume that Sensor Tower just hasn't updated this part yet, but things are taking off. So I trust these numbers. As you can see, it's number 2 for Wordle. And then when we looked at the top word games, it's number 2 right here as well. All right. Number 3 for Wordle, 300,000. Again, launch in January. No in-app purchases, just like Wordas. No in-app purchases down here. Nothing. So crazy. They're all ad-based. They're relying on ad. Here's number 4, 300,000. So really cool. Let's see if they got any ads or anything or in-app purchases. Nothing. And launch beginning of January. So really starting to take off here. Number 5, 60,000. So the downloads are going down a little bit. Again, launched in 2022. So should you create it? Maybe, but a lot of these competitors of yours that just launched in January, 1, you're late to the party, and 2, they're just relying on ads. So maybe think about a different spin to how you can start monetizing if you just want to do ads. Now, I like the ads model because if you've played the game like I play every day, well, you'll know that it's there's a high retention rate. So I like when you borrow elements and gameplays that have high retention already, and then maybe you put your own spin to it, right? And then what word here? Just launched in January as well. They do have some remove ads, so kudos. I would increase the price. So if I'm gonna have remove ads, I'd rather make it $2 or $3 moving forward. Okay, but things are really starting to take off. 100,000 downloads. Now, here's the kicker. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the apps ranking for Wordle, doing pretty well. But the monetization isn't there except for the first one. First one, different version. He launched it has recently updated to the Wordle that we all know, but he did have in-app purchases, and you can see all the reviews really starting to take off in January when Wordle started to take off too. Okay, so he already had in-app purchases, so he already baked in, doing great. Now, check out this app that is currently ranking number 8, number 7 for Wordle. Okay, it is 10,000 downloads, $50,000 in revenue. Holy cow! But launched in 2018, and here's the kicker: it's a paid app, $199. Kudos to you, David. Really, really cool. And I paid you, David. I bought the game. It's nothing like Josh's Wardle game at all. And so I dug in deeper. I wanted to get a sense of this Wardle and what happened to it. So I pulled it up on Sensor Tower, and here's the ranks. So I did all time. You can do all time right here. So launched in 2018. Steven's Wardle launched in 2016. So he launched 3 years later. So Steven, you came up with Wardle. But he also, if you look at it right here, the changes in September 4th, 2018, or 2018, he launched it as just Wardle, and then changed his app name to Wordle-Free Word Game. So trying to get some ASO juice out of that, right? But look, it's starting to take off here. Then I'm going to do last 90 days, what's been happening. So really started to take off right here, the beginning of January, right? Probably when Wordle started taking off, Josh's Wardle. So people were searching for it within the app stores, as you can see. And here, David made a really interesting switch. So he changed his name to Wordle, and then period, and then changed it from free to paid, which was really, really interesting because I played the game and it actually has in-app purchases still. So he was ready for the actual freemium model, but then made the switch to being paid, which was very, very interesting. And he's, according to Sensor Tower, making pretty darn good money out of it. And he ranks number 7 for that particular keyword. So really, really interesting strategy here. We have seen, if you were to make a paid app to yourself, we have seen Apple search ads, the advanced version, work really well for paid apps. One of our clients, I think it's a $4 app, but we're actually getting a 2-to-1 ROAS on paid ads too. Because he was like, how do I scale this? And I was like, let's try paid ads, Apple search ads. And it's working out really well. So very interesting that the number 1 ranking app for the term Wordle didn't start off as Josh's versions of Wordle, making pretty good money, right, as a freemium model. Then now has added Josh's version. And the number 7 app, who really does not, again, is not the same gameplay as Josh's version, switched over to a paid app when he started to see things taking off, and he's making even more money than the first app. So very, very interesting model. I like the different spins on this game that I've seen. And the middle 2 to 6 are just like the Wordle game that Josh created, but reliant on ads for its. So there's some market research for you. You decide how you want to approach it. From what I've heard from developers, it's a pretty easy, simple concept game to develop, but I think the the interesting part is the mechanics. So kudos to you, Josh, for creating the game mechanics of this, I think, very, very highly addicting game. And I love that it's just one a day. And when I was thinking about Josh a couple of days, I was like, this is perfect for the New York Times. And obviously, being Captain Obvious, they ended up buying Josh's name. So congratulations, Josh. And congratulations to Stephen and David, who came up with the word and now is writing that. Let me know what you thought of the video. And if you want to see more of these type of videos, I get this question a lot. Should I create apps of trending apps? I usually say no, but this I thought was an interesting example of a maybe. That's what I would say. A maybe. All right. All right, guys. If you like this video, hit that like button and then leave a comment below of what you thought of this video. And if you are going to create a Wordle type of game, or if you see some trending games, if you have any questions on whether you should go approach it and what the spin is. All right. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video.